Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. A January 6th convict just found out you sometimes have to be careful what you wish for. So I'll give you the details in just a second. Before I jump in, please hit the subscribe button if you have not subscribed already. Really helps with the algorithm on YouTube and to get more eyeballs on this information. Really appreciate it. So here's what's going down with this guy. 53-year-old North Carolina resident James Little was originally sentenced to 60 days in prison, also 3 years of probation. He had pleaded guilty to parading or demonstrating in a Capitol. He had served his 60 days behind bars, and then he went to court to fight his 3-year probation term. So he's already a little ways into probation, but he took it to court, and his attorney argued that because he pleaded guilty to a petty misdemeanor, he can't be sentenced to both prison and probation. That is what's called a split sentence, and some courts have agreed. They've said, yes, it can't be applied in these cases. It's only applicable. You can only give a split sentence if it's a felony conviction, not a petty misdemeanor. Well, in August of 2023, the D.C. Court of Appeals issued a ruling in Little's case, and they agreed with him. And so last week, he appeared before U.S. District Judge Royce Lamberth. That is the judge who presided over his case. That's the judge who initially sentenced him. Well, Little was expecting to just be resentenced by the judge to basically just have his probation lifted and ended. Instead, Judge Lamberth doubled Little's prison term, and he just went off on all of this stuff, all of the misinformation being spewed out by January 6 defendants and convicts and other people. Judge Lamberth said that he's concerned about, quote, further danger to our country due to, quote, shameless attempts to misinterpret or misrepresent what happened. Then the judge went on to say, quote, I have been shocked to watch some public figures try to rewrite history. It's up to the court to tell the truth. I hope a little truth will go a long way. Then Lamberth also said he's used to defendants who refuse to accept responsibility, but he said, quote, in my 37 years on the bench, I cannot recall a time when such meritless justifications of criminal activity have gone mainstream. And Judge Lamberth ordered Little back to prison for another 60 days because he said he hasn't shown any remorse since the Capitol attack, hasn't shown any respect for the law. And apparently, Little's probation officer notified the court that Little has exhibited an, quote, inability to fully accept responsibility for his actions and, quote, behavior consistent with entitlement. Go figure. The probation officer added that in regard to the $500 restitution fee that Little owes, quote, Mr. Little voices invalid excuses and circles the conversation back to how he feels his voice is being silenced. Why am I not shocked? I have said over and over again, most of these people have a massive sense of entitlement. That's why they were there January 6th. That's why they couldn't believe that their loser lost in the election that year. Because they can't lose, right? It's their guy. That's why they believe that they could go to the Capitol, break the law on January 6th, and nothing would happen to them. Because they are entitled, selfish, spoiled children. So anyway, according to the Washington Post, Little appeared for this hearing via teleconference, and as the judge was speaking, they said he was rolling his eyes, he was shaking his head, and then they said he was muttering to himself. This guy has clearly learned nothing. And the prosecutor told the judge that since he was first sentenced in 2022, he has continued to post conspiracy theories about the Capitol attack. He says that the FBI was involved. He blames instigators. I mean, again, that is the most like self-own excuse I have heard, because it's admitting, oh yeah, there are a couple people in the crowd who told me to commit crimes, and so I did because I'm just a sheep and I follow the leader. I mean, it's such a self-own. Anyway, he refers to himself, Little, as a political prisoner. He's compared himself, this is so gross, to Vietnam veterans who were, quote, shunned by armchair soldiers of family and friends who weren't there. Really? Really? You're going to compare yourself to a Vietnam vet who was traumatized, who came back with PTSD because of what they were forced to do by their leadership, when you, of your own free will, went to the freaking Capitol and chose to commit crimes that day for a lifelong con artist, lying, cheating, scumbag, apricot antichrist, who has cheated on every wife he's ever had, who was just found liable for raping a woman, who was just found liable for tax fraud of the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars, someone who stole our most classified documents, someone who then lied about that and tried to obstruct justice and hide those documents and refuse to give them back. You're going to compare yourself to people who literally sacrificed everything for this country because you chose, Mr. Little, to go to the Capitol on the word of a liar, of a proven, flat-out liar, someone who has never told the truth to anyone in his life, not his own children, not his wives, and certainly not his country. Wow. I mean, these people, their egos are so in the way of them seeing the truth, it's sad. And this guy is already posting BS allegations about the Democrats rigging the 2024 election. And at the hearing, Little told the judge that I don't plan on attending any more political rallies. And he said it's because, quote, I'm a little scared to, honestly. And, quote, I'm getting too old for this stuff. Yeah. Don't believe you. So Judge Lamberth told Little, you have a right to believe that the election was stolen. I mean, wasn't, but you can believe it. And then he told him, you have a right to express that opinion. But he said, your freedom of speech, quote, does not give anyone the right to engage in riotous behavior at the U.S. Capitol. And then the judge added, quote, not everyone present that day was violent, but violence is what let them into the Capitol. Couldn't have said it better myself. And Lamberth also took issue with something that Little posted on Facebook about the QAnon shaman, Jacob Chansley. Little referred to Chansley as a, quote, fellow persecuted and prosecuted J6 patriot. So Judge Lamberth slammed him because he was the judge in this case. He said, quote, I happen to be the judge who had Mr. Chansley's case, and I know that he was neither persecuted nor prosecuted improperly or unlawfully. And then he said, quote, I have been dismayed to see distortions and outright falsehoods seep into the public consciousness. So we'll see what happens now, because Little's attorney is planning to appeal this decision, this additional 60-day sentence. And evidently, a magistrate judge had already ruled in another case that increasing a sentence would violate the double jeopardy law. So I'll let you know when I hear more. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like this video, share it. That really helps with the algorithm on YouTube. As I said, become a subscriber if you have not. If you can donate, that really helps to keep the show going. Links are below in the description box on YouTube and the podcast. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.